All right, welcome in. It is episode 2 of the Stadium and Main podcast with Big Worm and Strack. I am Jordan Strack. On the other side of the screen, that is Chris Wormley. It is our second episode. And Chris, this one not nearly as happy as the first one that we did. We've got a lot to get to, so much going on with the Michigan football program. We found out that Biff will be running things the next couple of weeks while Sharon Moore is suspended. That was the big news of the day. A couple other little things that we will get to throughout the show. We're going to break down the loss at Oklahoma. There was the scuffle between Bryce Underwood and Justice Haynes that everybody's talking about. We'll get into that. And Chris, I think you'll be able to give us a terrific perspective from a player's side. But all in all, let's just start. What did you think? What was the biggest issue you saw? Our big thing, what was the biggest issue that you saw in the loss at Oklahoma?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough loss. I thought the boys, they fought hard, but at the end of the day, not enough to get the job done. We knew it was going to be tough. We knew it was going to be a tough, hostile environment going into Oklahoma. One of those blue bloods that we talked about last week on the show. It was one of those things where if you didn't have your best game and you didn't bring your A game, it was going to be really tough to come out with a victory. And for me, I think the biggest thing was the offensive line play. Not enough time in the pass game for Bryce to get through his reads. Not enough time. Not enough, push on the defensive line for Haynes and Marshall to really make a huge impact in the game. Obviously, there was that 75-yard touchdown run by Haynes, but I think overall, especially when you watch the tape, it's a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that went wrong on the offensive line that I think, and I know that Grant Newsome, their offensive line coach, and I know obviously Sharon Moore are going to be looking at this upcoming week.
Yeah, one thing I didn't mention that you see on the side of the screen, we will have Mo Hurst on, a 7-year NFL vet, former All-American at Michigan. He's going to be joining us here in just a little bit, so stick around for that. The way I looked at it, Chris, and I think I put this out on Twitter, I didn't feel like Michigan was competitive at Oklahoma, and that was the biggest disappointment to me. It's one thing if you go and you lose on the road in the SEC against a veteran quarterback, against one of the best defensive minds the sport has. I didn't think Michigan was particularly competitive throughout the night. That was the biggest issue I had. It just didn't – it felt like throughout the night there was never a point where I was like, okay, they're still in this thing. Even down one possession in the fourth quarter, it didn't feel like they were coming back in that football game. Sometimes, you're going to get that vibe. I did not have that feeling that this Michigan team was going to be able to put together a drive to go down and win this thing at any point. And that, to me, was the toughest part of watching that. What did you think?
Yeah, it was rough watching the whole night. From the start, there were so many plays and so many times where I'm looking like, okay, like this is the time where they could, make the stop on defense, make a big play on offense to put, points on the board and not just field goals. So all night long, it was frustrating to watch. My ass on the couch watching it with a drink in my hand. But like these you want so much flash, and you want the big plays, and you want the spectacular that we know that this team can create on both sides of the ball. And we just didn't see enough of that. Obviously, like we talked about the 75-yard run by Haynes. There was a pick there by one of the defenders. But there weren't enough plays made, especially plays made where you look and you're like, you're right there, make the play. And it felt like those were the ones that really kind of bit them in the butt all night long.
The only time that there were a couple times I felt like there were guys in position to play and to make a play and didn't. The game-changing play to me was Brandon Hillman had a free run on that blitz, was not able to get John Mateer to the ground. He throws a ball down the sideline. They would go up 2 touchdowns. That was the game changer to me in the entire game. So you talk about, being in positions and all those things. Like, that was a time where they were in a position to make a play and just didn't do it. A lot of what I thought we saw in that football game was a veteran quarterback who had been with his offensive coordinator for years and a freshman playing his first road game in college football. It felt like you can, the sky is falling and you can kind of put it however you want it. It felt like it came down to a lot of that. Did it not?
Yeah, I mean, when you have such a kind of coming out party like Bryce did against the Lobos week 1, and we knew that Oklahoma was going to be a lot better than that New Mexico team that they faced week one. There's no doubt about it. But I think people got their hopes up that he was going to come out looking like a seasoned vet, when in reality he's, everyone talks about it. He's 18 years old. He's been 18 for 3 weeks. So there's going to be these growing pains. New offensive coordinator in the system, obviously a new quarterback in Bryce. So there's these growing pains that you necessarily didn't see with Oklahoma with Venables being there as their defensive coordinator for 3 or 4 years now. Him taking back the reins of calling the defense, and then with that Mateer guy at quarterback, he's been with the offensive coordinator. And when you have a coach and a player that are in sync like that, it's so hard to scheme up anything. And there are times where Michigan called the right play on defense, and the defenders just didn't make a play. You talk about the missed sack. There was a 3rd and 7 kind of cover zero blitz where it was, I think, the first third down of the fourth quarter. And as in a cover zero blitz, you got to take the running back if he comes to you, because no one else in the back end is responsible for him. And you don't know who's going to take the back until the play starts. But if he comes to you, you have to grab him. And we saw that Derek Moore kind of went right past him. And it's hard as a defensive lineman because you want to get to the quarterback and make a sack and make that big play. But in that type of defense, in a cover zero all-out blitz, you have to take the running back, and it bit him in the butt and cost him a huge opportunity to get the ball back in a one-possession game at the time.
All right. What's fixable? I mean, are there issues that right now they just don't have personnel they're going to be able to fix it this year? Or, I mean, are there things that are fixable this season, or is the sky completely falling in your mind?
It was this Chicken Little? Like, come on, man.
Have you been on Twitter lately? Like, ever on Saturday night, you would have thought the world was coming to an end.
Yeah, I mean,
what's fixable and what's not is the point.
That's Michigan fans, man. They're passionate about their team. They are super excited for this quarterback that's coming in. And like I said, there's gonna be growing pains. But what's fixable? Yeah, there's a lot of things that are fixable. You make the tackle, you make the sack, you do your job. There's so many times where, like I said, they just had to do their job and they just didn't make the plays that come to you. You don't have to force anything. That was one big thing that Coach Mike Tomlin always used to say to us, and I know he says it still to this day, is like, don't do anything out of the ordinary. Just make the plays. Now, TJ Watt is a little different than myself was when we played, and he would get 4 sacks a game. But when the plays come to you, make the damn play. And there were times that on Saturday they just did not. I think the O-line is fixable. We'll see if that left guard El Hadi is going to be back in the lineup. I know he went down, but I like what I saw from McCauley. He made some great catches throughout the game. I'm going to say Bryce has to run the ball. I don't really know who's holding him back, but someone's holding him back in that building, and I'm excited for him to use his God-given abilities to make some plays, because I know that's going to help out this offense moving forward.
All right, that's the next topic I've got written down here. Are they handcuffing Bryce right now? Does it feel like it felt early in the game that they had rolled out the exact same game plan that we saw from 2024? It was one of the things I was celebrating last week on this podcast. We were so happy that it felt like, hey, they trusted the kid. They were letting him make plays. It did not feel like that this week. In your mind, is Bryce being handcuffed, whether it's Chip Lindsey or if it's Sharon Moore pushing that down the hill, like, hey, no, we want to protect this kid? The comment from Sharon Moore at the press conference was, if you want to run the football with your quarterback, you better have 2 quarterbacks. A couple things in my mind hearing him say that. When I first heard him say it today, I thought, that's not great. One, it doesn't send a great message to the rest of your quarterback room that they have confidence in you. 2, I just watched the Bills and Ravens play on Sunday night, and 2 of the best quarterbacks in the entire world were running all over the place. So if you've got a Lamborghini, drive it. And right now, Michigan has a Lamborghini. You need to drive it. It might have cost you the other night. What do you think about the way that the play calling was handled on Saturday night?
Yeah, it was frustrating, especially when you kind of knew that the first week, like, Bryce doesn't need to run. We're going to beat this team, and we're going to save,
Yeah.
his body, his legs, our game plan, our scheme for bigger opponents. And week 2 rolls around, and it's the Sooners on the road. The best athlete on the team, the best athlete on the offense is the quarterback. So he has to use all his ability. He has to use his legs. He has to use his mind. He has to use his arm. And it just seemed like there were multiple times where he could have taken off and run for a first down on a scramble play or even a designed run, and it just didn't happen. And I don't really know what they're waiting for or what they're saving it for, because Big Ten plays right around the corner. The aspirations of this team are high, no matter what the record is, 1-1. We want to see this team win. I know they want to win. Obviously, Coach Moore wants to win. So I think there's going to be some things that are going to have to change, and it might be that Bryce has to run it a couple times. Obviously, slide. Obviously, get out of bounds when need be. Obviously, don't try and truck somebody. But smart designed runs and smart designed scramble plays when he can get out and make a few yards when there's nobody open. That's what he can do. He's a pocket passer. That's what everybody knows him as. He's a pocket passer. But if you look at the kid and you see him move, you're like, he can pick up a first damn down when need be. And I think moving forward, they're going to have to do that.
I think what Oklahoma did with John Mateer, to me, that you have the blueprint right there. You've got a veteran quarterback who they used in the run game, they used in the throw game, but they had designed runs for him. There were times throughout the night where there were designed runs where it's like, hey, you're my guy, go make a play. And we didn't see that from Michigan's play calling with Bryce Underwood. The way they trusted John Mateer, they're not trusting Bryce Underwood and letting him go be Bryce Underwood. And that to me that's a major issue, because you spent a lot of money and you brought this guy in for a reason. You have to use him, especially on big stages like that. If they're not running him against Central Michigan this week, fine, whatever. That is what it is. You don't run him against New Mexico, fine, whatever, it is what it is. Those are the games against Oklahoma where, listen, you need him to go make a play. Let him go make a play.
100%. I played Josh Allen 4 or 5 times now in my career, and as he's gotten older, he's been smarter with the ball. He's not. He'll still try and jump over you and tackle and run you over. But when you get into the red zone, when you get into the goal line plays, he's keeping the ball, and everybody knows it. But there's not much you can do. There's not much you can do to stop him because he's bigger, faster, stronger than everybody on the field except for the nose tackle and the D tackle. So I think they're going to they're watching the tape. Obviously, they're saying, okay, how can we put Bryce in the best position to succeed? And that has to come into your mind as an offensive coach. Is he has to run the ball. He has to take off, use his ability. You talk about the Ferrari. It kind of brought up, or the Lamborghini. I don't know. And you're old enough, but you've watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where they take the friend's car and it's this pristine Ferrari, and it's just sitting in their dad's collection. You got to take it out. You got to drive it a little bit. You got to test it. You got to test and see what you got, because no matter if you have 2 quarterbacks or 100 quarterbacks or no quarterbacks, you got to test the quarterback that you have to do what he was brought to Michigan to do, and that was to win.
Yeah, for sure. Couple other things. So when Dominic Zavada missed a field goal, I thought, holy hell, he's human. One. But my biggest issue, I think, from a coaching perspective, the first 2 weeks we've seen this happen twice now. In week 1, Sharon punted on 4th and 2 from midfield, and I felt like they were rolling, and that took away some momentum when he did that. In the first half, they had a long 4th down, but they're at the 38-yard line. Dominic Zavada can make that field goal, 1. But 2, the way that I have always been of the mind, okay, yeah, punt, go play defense. You got a great defense, whatever. I talked to a college head coach 2 years ago who said to me, you're inside the 40-yard line. In one play, they're going to be right back to where you are. If you don't get it, whatever, because they get it at the 20 and you punt it into the end zone like Michigan did, they're going to be right back to the 40 in 2 plays anyway, so who cares? Go for that. Either go or kick the field goal. I probably would have tried a field goal with Zavada. You've got this all-world kicker. I think Sharon in back-to-back weeks is not instilling confidence in his guys. Like, hey, I have a team. I think we can go. Let's go. Let's go do it. Does that permeate throughout a sideline if your coach is kind of not trusting you?
Yeah, I think maybe. I mean, I haven't talked to Sharon on a coaching level, but like
Yeah.
maybe staff and he's kind of thinking like still stuck in the 24 season. They didn't have, they had to trust their defense a lot to go play, to go make a
Yeah.
play. And maybe they're still stuck in that 24 mode. But when you got a guy like Zavada, obviously he missed one, but I've played with Chris Boswell for the Steelers and Justin Tucker and the Ravens, and those are probably the two greatest kickers that I've played with. But Tucker, percentage wise, is the greatest in the NFL history, and they've missed.
Yeah.
So everyone's human. Obviously, you if you have a kicker like Zavada, you got to take those chances 55 and in. You got to take those chances for the points because what are you going to punt and put them on the 20? Maybe you punt them deep, but it doesn't fare well when you're sitting there on the offense like let's go for it on fourth down if you're just going to punt or the defense
it's back-to-back weeks where I just felt like they had a shot to attack and they didn't. And Sharon came out and said that they trust the special teams coach with the kick line and all these things. Ultimately, like, listen, it's got to come down to him. So I thought that was a questionable call. A couple other things before we get to Mo Hurst, who we'll get to in just a moment. I thought even despite the struggles throughout the night, Michigan still had a shot in the fourth quarter. It's a one-possession game, and Oklahoma went on an 8-minute drive. They kicked the field goal. The defense just could not get off the field. As bad as it was, they still had a shot in the fourth quarter on the road in the SEC in a game where they probably didn't have any business winning, but they just couldn't get off the field there at the end. What did you think of the way that the end of the game kind of played out?
As a defender, it sucked to watch that. 8-minute drives are no fun. Everybody's gassed. Everybody is tired. And as a defender, you're just like, okay, let's put this on me. Every game you want to, if it's a close game, you want it to come down to yourself. And as a defender, like, hey, let's put this team on our back and let's make a play. Let's get the game, let's get the ball back to our offense as quick as possible. And that just wasn't the case. So me watching that, it's frustrating, especially knowing the players that are on that defense and the type of coaches that they have on that side of the ball. It's frustrating to watch. Potential is a dangerous word. There's a lot of potential on that defense, but until they can prove, and it's week 2, but until they can prove that they can stop and come up with big plays in a timely fashion, in a way where the defense is being called upon, people are going to have questions. And I got destroyed on Twitter and on Instagram from people.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, but I'm like, dang, like it was one game and people are coming at Wink like he's the devil. I'm like, he watched the rest of the season, I guess is all I can say. And like, this didn't age well. This was bad. Like, you're eating your words, Worm. I'm like, come on, man. Like one game, like if they just made the plays that came to them, it would have been a different story. But not much I can do until they prove me right.
You're going to learn very quickly in this world that when you put takes out there, that people are going to crush you, and you're never going to be right all the time. But welcome to the world. I'm glad that you're getting to experience this. This is going to be fun for you. Okay, I want to touch on this before we get Mo in here. The Bryce Underwood, Justice Haynes sideline thing. I knew the second I watched it that casuals everywhere were going to freak out and lose their mind. And, oh my gosh, the Bryce is already blah, blah, blah. And I knew people were going to say it. I saw it coming, and they did, predictably. To me, it is the most overblown non-story ever. This happens 100 times a day in sports. Guys in locker rooms, guys in clubhouses in baseball, guys on the sidelines.
Hockey guys.
Hockey. Listen, hockey. I promise you, I've been around it for over 20 years. I promise you, this happens behind the scenes all the time. This was a non-story in my mind. What did you think, and how often does it happen? You've played in the NFL. You have been around sports. How often does that kind of stuff happen?
All the time. I mean, every day there's an argument. Every day there's, I wouldn't say like a fist fight scuffle, but when the stakes are that high, when the lights are on, when the adrenaline's going, we had, Mo has probably heard this before, but we had a strength coach named Aaron Wellman who called it exercise induced anger, and that's when your adrenaline's going, you're sweating, you're trying your hardest, and things aren't working out. You're going to get pissed, and I would rather see that than them just shrugging it off. Don't minimize the situation. Don't minimize your role as a teammate, as whatever happened in that exact play. But to see them arguing on the sidelines, like, okay, like it meant nothing to me because I've been in that situation 1,000 times, and I'll probably be in it 1,000 times more. And it's just one of those things that, as somebody who's been in the locker room and has been in those conflicts, it was a nothing to me. It meant nothing.
100%. Totally agree with you. All right, that will we'll put a bow on the Oklahoma game. It was not great. I think we have beat that into the ground for 20 minutes now. So we will look forward, and let's welcome in Mo Hurst, and a 7-year NFL vet. Mo, what's going on, man?
What's
Big
up,
Mo.
y'all can hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear you.
All right,
my guy.
cool.
What's going on, brother? How you been?
Man, I'm blessed. I've been doing great. Just been watching some football, watching my boys. That only time you get to watch like NFL Red Zone and all the college games is when you got a bye week. So, week one kind of feels like a little bye week being a free agent and not being on the team right now. So I got to watch a ton of football, and it was great getting to watch, so much ball this weekend.
How do you think JJ is going to do tonight in his first NFL start?
I think JJ will be solid. I mean, he's got good weapons around him. Obviously you got Justin Jettas, so you're doing pretty good there. You can kind of just throw the ball up to him. They got a pretty established O-line and some veterans kind of placed all around him, so he's in a good position to succeed and do well, especially after watching what's his name, man, who just left her last year?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
Yeah, after seeing Darnold, do what he did last year, I mean, you got to have confidence in a first-round pick, early pick, having success.
No doubt.
All right, Mo, give us a Chris Wormley story. Like, I've known him for like, I've known him since he was like 15 years old. Give me a Chris Wormley story. Drag him a little bit here if you want.
Yeah, pump me up. Gas me up.
I only got good stories about Big Worm.
Okay. Okay.
I mean? I would probably say one of my favorite, honestly, was probably him getting his Big Worm tat in the dorm room. I think he might have been a senior. I know it's probably very unsanitary, things like that, but probably one of my favorite stories. Other than that, I moved basically across the street from him, and we had found out that we had a fence between us. Hopefully they don't hit me up for damages or anything like that. But I called him up. He's like, all right, meet me at the fence. He brought a toolbox, and we, dug a little hole underneath our fence and kind of broke the fence a little bit so we could, go in and out of each other's houses and kind of hang out a little more. So that was probably one of my favorite, two Big Worm stories.
I love it. So wait, time out. Where was the tattoo done?
It was in a so one of our
You Brian Monet. The doors?
Shout out to Brian Monet. Shout out to Brian Monet. He was one of the nose tackles. His cousin was like a tattoo artist and was in town.
Came in from Utah for the weekend just to tattoo a bunch of guys.
And it was I got a lip tat on my bottom lip. It says Big Worm. It was supposed to be gone in like 3 to 5 years. That was 10 years ago. It's still here. And it was $25. So I mean, like, what the hell? Like I thought it'd be gone.
This was pre-NIL, so we paid for our.
Oh yeah, we paid for it. It was
This is hilarious. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, Mo. What did you think of the effort at Oklahoma the other night?
Man, I thought the guys, honestly, I thought the guys played really physical. Obviously there's a ton of things to clean up. I mean, I was even texting Worm during the game. There was basic things like sending an all-out blitz, not picking up the peeler, and just a bunch of random things throughout the game. You could tell the O-line was a little bit confused on some of their protection calls. Having a young quarterback, I'm not really too happy about people kind of slandering them for how they called the game. I think you do want to see him go out and be, true freshman that comes in and throws for 400 yards in a big game. But to be frank, not many people are doing that, ever. So as a play caller, you're obviously going to be a little bit more conservative as a head coach. And you could tell that towards the end of the game, you could tell Bryce was a little bit uncomfortable. I mean, you would see him drop back, get off his back foot, and he's looking at the O-line. And, that's the last thing you want as a quarterback. And, I think that's kind of what Sharon and everyone was trying to avoid, was him getting kind of frazzled in that sort of situation. And as a young quarterback, I think, too, you have to be able to use your legs. And I think that was one thing that he really underutilized. And I think that's something that you kind of have to go through that progression where, you're not feeling comfortable, use your legs, pick up a few first downs, kind of get the rhythm going, get the defense a little bit tired, make them not know if you're running or throwing or whatever, and just kind of get them off their rhythm and get themselves into more of a rhythm.
Go ahead, Worm.
No, I was just going to say, like, don't you, I mean, as a play caller, as Sharon and as Coach Lindsey for Bryce, like, yeah, you want to be conservative. You want to get, some easy throws, some easy completions,
Right.
especially early in the game. But
Yeah.
also, like, I need to see Bryce run. I need to see him.
Right.
Pick
Yeah.
up plays.
I need to see him.
Yeah, I need to see him be Bryce. And like I said before you came on, like he's a pocket passer, but he also has the ability to use his legs to get out of situations. We talked about Josh Allen and Lamar last night. If you watched the game last night, like, the two best quarterbacks in the league are running around making plays, but also can step back in the pocket and make a beautiful pass to a receiver. But when you have the ability to do both, I think you have to use all your ability, especially in a big game like that, especially when you're on the road. And that defense was coming. The defense was on fire. Venables is one of those coaches that's bringing the pressure. So to be able to take the pressure off and have them sit back and not blitz as often, if Bryce can get out of the pocket and make a play, I thought would have allowed them to open up the playbook more, tamper that defense a little bit. But I got to see Bryce run a little more.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's have some more fun here. Mo, did you have like a welcome to Michigan moment in your college career?
Oh man, I had a few. I would say my biggest one was just my freshman year, being a redshirt freshman, coming out of Massachusetts, small town football school. I was hungry. So, every single day I was bringing it, scout team All-American, the guy that everyone hates.
Who are you going against then? Was that like Lawan in his last year?
It was Taylor Lawan. So me and Taylor used to get into it every single day. And I remember he used to have this thing called like No Touch Taylor Fridays or whatever it was.
Thursdays. Yeah, Thursdays.
Don't touch Taylor Thursdays. And I'm telling you, like, I'm hungry, like, I'm trying to get out the mud and just, I'm really bringing it every single day. So I'm getting into him, whatever. I threw him down one play, and I just remember him ripping his helmet off and just storming off the field, slamming his helmet on the ground, and just talking trash to me for the duration of that time, and refused to go back in. And I mean, that was probably my biggest welcome moment, because the next time he was in there, he took care of me as
he would just grab your face mask.
Yeah, he just grabbed my face mask and just like
as soon as the play goes, he just would grab your face mask and you wouldn't be able to go anywhere. And it was Taylor Lawan. We're
Taylor Lawan. I'm a freshman. He did his thing, but I think I got mine more than he got his. So
I am just hoping that this clip somehow gets to him, because he's a big star now. Like Taylor Taylor's blown up. He's a big star. I would love to see them talk about No Touch Taylor Thursdays on the boys podcast. That'd be great. All right. What else about your time at Michigan kind of stands out?
Man, I mean, honestly, it was working for Uber. That was kind of crazy. Like, I didn't have this NIL money. Like I was getting done with practice and I was turning on my Uber app just to get, a couple extra dollars to get some food and, buy clothes and all that type of stuff. So, it was just a different time.
You had a high rating though. Like what was your Uber rating?
Man, I just actually downloaded the app because I wanted to look, and I'm still like a 4.99. I don't know who gave me a bad rating, but I'm still like a very good Uber driver and Lyft. Got one of the highest ratings of all time. But yeah, I mean, it's just so much different now. Like those guys are living. They're living.
Okay, so speaking of NIL, like I don't want to talk about dollar figures, but the houses that we lived in back in the day, you were my roommate my last year in 2016.
You're paying $500 a month.
You're paying $500 a month for. I mean, I drive past that house every once in a while going over the bridge on Stadium, and it looks like nobody. It looks like no one should live there. It looks dilapidated. And rent's probably $800 a room now. So what would you have done? What would you have done with your NIL money? I know you're a savvy investor. I know you got some properties, some Airbnbs. What would you have done with a little chunk of change in your pocket, 10 years ago?
Well, man, I've really first got into investing when I was in college, and my first ever stock that I bought was Lululemon. It was about $35. That thing's about like $220 right now. So imagine if I had a little bit of that NIL money to really put into that when I was there, I would have definitely gotten into, a little bit more cash and, probably would have cash flowed a little bit more. But we also had the privilege. We had Baxter. So Baxter had the whole plan for buying a house and all that stuff. Like, imagine if we had that little bit of cash. I feel like we would have bought something and just lived in it together, whatever the cost or something like that. But we definitely would have been smart with it and, put the money somewhere good and just, got those type of things rolling too.
Would you have kept the Mazda 3?
No, I would have got a Dodge Charger.
You would have had the SRT scat pack. I pull into Schembecker Hall. That's the facility where the boys practice. And I pull up to the parking lot, for a spring ball practice, and I'm walking by Escalades, Corvettes, Challengers, Chargers, the fancy Jeeps. I'm like, I had a 2001 green PT Cruiser. That was my car in college.
Wait, you drove a PT Cruiser?
Yeah,
a green
Your
PT
big ass
Cruiser.
drove a PT Cruiser.
You'd be in there like this. You would see Big Worm rolling down State Street like this, all tied into the.
Listen, man.
Front of the.
I'm from Toledo. The Toledo is the mud city. I had to get it out the mud. That was my car for my first 3 years in college, and it was my baby.
Yeah, the Mazda 6. That thing was rough.
That's unbelievable. Worm, I never knew that about you. I've known you a long time. I never knew that about you.
I got a picture somewhere, man. There's some pictures floating around, and it had leather seats and it had air conditioning. So I don't know about you guys, but I like it.
All right.
Or something.
Do you have any? Do either of you guys have Jim Harbaugh stories? Anything good that you can? Anything you're allowed to share? That'd be funny.
I mean, one of my favorite Jim Harbaugh stories was probably our first. It was like our first real sort of practice with Jim Harbaugh, and he was warming up with the offense, and Chris Evans ran a wheel route, and he was just furious. So he's like, "You didn't run it right, blah blah blah. Like, move over here. Like, I'm gonna get up there and go run it." So Jim lines up, gets in his stance. Said hut, goes, tries to run the wheel route and just pop both his hammies while he was running. You just see both the wheels just come off, and he's just hobbling off. And I'm like, man, I think he just pulled his hammy. So the rest of the year, like, he went in the training room maybe one time, and he got some of those like core shorts that we wear to protect us. But honestly, I think he probably still has a limp from just like not doing rehab on those hammies like during that year. So that was probably one of my favorite ones, just seeing him that's how intense he is with the game, though. Everything's got to be perfect, but he really went out there and tried to show the example and just, cook both his hammies. So that's probably one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, that sounds like Jim. He's probably still. I mean, he definitely he's throwing to receivers pregame nowadays still. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he's out there running routes, running through tackles and handoff drills. I'm sure he's doing it all.
Yeah, have you ever seen his arm? His arm's like all like dangly and like I don't know, things all messed up.
He's just a ball player, man. That's a ball player right there.
The man loves. I would say this about Jim Harbaugh: he loves ball more than anyone I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
There's him, and then there's John Gruden. I played for both of them. Both of them, if both of them were in the room together, they would not stop talking about football. Like it would. I would pay to watch those guys talk about the game of football.
Did either of you guys ever get aired out by Jim Harbaugh? Like cussed out?
No, I always tried staying on Jim's good side, man. There were times where I was next to the guy that was getting chewed out, but I was it was never me directly. But I felt like I could feel like it was directed towards me, but I tried staying on Jim's good side.
Jim.
If you get on his bad side, especially remember like this first spring ball with Jim was, and I talked with Josh Johnson, who was the backup quarterback last year in Baltimore, who had Jim in San Diego.
Yeah,
and he was like, man, when Jim got to San Diego, like he was trying to get everybody out. Like he was trying to make guys transfer, make guys quit, so he can bring his own guys in. And I'm like, bro, that was us 10 years later in 2015. That first spring ball practice, it's 4-hour spring ball practices. It's study hall. You had to go to, I got good grades in school. I had to go to study hall and like be around, I had to be in study hall and make sure that I was getting my homework done. There were so many things that he tried to make us do to make us quit. And there were times I'm like, damn, I don't know if I'm cut out for this anymore. But obviously stuck through it. And Mo was one of the guys that was a big help in doing that. But like he tried making guys quit. He tried making guys transfer. He was about getting his guys in, and the guys that survived and stayed became his guys, those 2 years that I was there and the 3 that Mo was there. But he was cutthroat in that aspect, and there was a lot of football played my last 2 years.
You got to love ball. Like you can't play for Jim Harbaugh and like football. Like you got to love the game of football with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
luckily
he'll expose you quick.
Yeah, no, luckily I never got chewed out, by him. Madison's a different story, but Harbaugh, he never chewed me out.
Coach, you say Madison?
Yeah, Madison used to call me.
he get after you a little bit?
Oh yeah, that's my guy to this day.
Mo might have deserved it though. Mo might have deserved it.
I deserved it sometimes. I mean, I would be out there like with I would have like an ankle sprain or something. You'd be like, Mo, you just sitting there feeling sorry for yourself. You don't even run to the ball. You don't even love football.
Oh,
man. I'm gonna just send you back to Massachusetts. You can go play for Boston College. I'm like,
well, because Coach Matty recruited you, right? Like he went to the high school. He was in your high school watching.
He was my main recruiter.
Yeah, so he knew all about what was it? Canton, Mass. That's where you're from.
Yeah, Canton, Massachusetts.
Canton, Mass. The Varian brothers, baby.
Varian brothers. Just a few Mass boys out there.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Mike Sandersfield's, putting on for us right now, so we're in good hands.
This is the Varian brother.
He's an Everett boy, but
all right,
he's still putting on for Mass and obviously going to Michigan. So
all right.
We're good. We're rivals, but it's cool.
I love it. I love it. All right, you guys got any other good stories before we get out of here?
I just want I want Mo to kind of hit on him being a model. I mean, it's
yeah.
I want him to talk. I mean, I've talked to him a little bit about it, but I haven't gotten like the full story of how Mo became a runway model. I thought maybe he'd be in like DXL, kind of big boy catalogs.
And those crazy
the husky pants back in the day. But he's hitting the runway in like a good looking suit. So Mo, let us know what was going on with that.
Man, you just you spend some time in the league and you just you get around some fly guys, and they rub off on you a little bit. You want to dress up a little bit more, feel a little better about yourself, and just try new things. I'd say that's my biggest my biggest thing is, trying new things that may be a little bit uncomfortable, but I just try to put on for the big fellas for a little bit, especially living in Texas right now. I had to put in the little cowboy hat and, just kind of get my thing rolling. So, it felt good. Felt like a real cowboy. Didn't have my boots yet, but maybe
Well,
those are coming.
what's that conversation like? Like, is Pat calling you saying, "Hey, I got this opportunity for you to be a model," or are you reaching out to different agencies, or you got the inside scoop? Like, how did that all kind of come together?
No, I had, being as good looking as I am, I had someone reach out to me, and then I just, I happened to, I happened to follow through and, went through with it. So, that was fun.
Well, you look
This
good.
is so
Did you
good.
get to keep the suit?
Oh yeah. That was part of the gig. Got to keep
Yep.
the suit. It was fun. I would do it again. Maybe.
Can you get Worm some modeling gigs or what?
Oh yeah. I can definitely put Big Worm on some modeling gigs.
Yes.
Uber driver / model / football player / investor, entrepreneur. Do it all. Man of many skills.
I try, man. Just a guy at the end of the day.
And one hell of a podcast guest.
I appreciate it. I'm still upset about the game, to be honest with you guys. Like,
I feel that.
I don't like losing to OU. I just feel like we could have done a lot better.
I feel that.
Ball.
Yeah.
Will you come back on with us again at some point?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely come back on. Talk some more ball. I'm excited about Central Michigan game and them getting back to their roots and just getting in a rhythm and just trusting themselves, getting that confidence back up for later down the road.
I'll ask you guys this as players. When you go from a big game like Oklahoma and then you've got Central Michigan coming in, where's your mindset coming back into the Big House playing Central Michigan now?
Yeah, the coaches always tell us it's a trap game. Like, whenever you have like a small opponent, they always turn up practice. Like, it's going to be like they're going to practice probably harder this week than they did last week. Like, that's just like how coaches do. They don't want to get embarrassed on national television by losing to, CMU. So I think they're going to show up and show out.
We almost lost to Akron in 2013. So
yeah.
there's no like, and especially in the NFL, like there's no cake game. There's no guaranteed win game. Obviously we expect Michigan to win, but
yeah,
we almost lost
even week one. Week one was like we got in the second half. I'm like, this is a game. Like, I'm like, I thought it was going to be a blowout just from how the game kind of started, but they were in the game to basically the end of it. So I don't know. I think they'll be right though. I like the mentality. Like, I heard you guys talking about Bryce getting into that argument. Like, I like that. Like, I want that fire from your young players to come in and hold each other accountable. I think accountability is the biggest thing, and that's one of the things I'm impressed about. And I like the physicality they play with. Like, you can see the safeties and the linebackers, and I love 15. That might be my favorite player right now. Like
Ernest Hausman, yeah.
Yeah, like dude looks like Patrick Willis out there. Like, I'm watching him come downhill and just lay wood.
He's head hunting.
He's head hunting, laying wood every time he comes down. Like, I'll probably buy a jersey, honestly, just because, I just love how he plays the game of football. Like, whatever team I'm on, like, I'll ride out with him. Like, dude, dude's a baller for sure. And I just love I love how those guys hit. I love the tenacity they play with. Number one, too. Like, both those guys really play with, a lot of heart, a lot of passion for the game. So
Jayshon Barham, the other linebacker in there you're talking about.
Yeah, the one that got knocked out for the first half.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw he went down. I don't know if he got cramps or something, but I saw him go down for a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he seemed to be fine. It feels like everybody else on the team is a little banged up right now. But I think he's ended up being okay. Didn't seem to be mentioned today as one of the issues. How do you guys watch the game as former players? Are you like chilling? Like, do you like sit on a couch and just watch? Do you like watch completely intently, like X's and O's, like I would have done this, or like are you watching a position group? How do you guys watch games?
I mean,
Um,
as soon
yeah,
as the zero covered blitz happened, Mo texted me like, "Hey, you see that? Like, he didn't take the running back." And like saying before, like that's the number one rule when you're one of the blitzers or the defensive lineman is you got to take that running back if he comes to you, because
yeah,
there's no DBs, there's no linebackers, there's nobody that's accounted for him except for the guys that are blitzing. And once he comes to you, you got to take him and you got to cover him. And
yeah. That's your guy.
yeah, that's your guy.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing for me, like I'm watching like D line play, and then I'm going to the backers, and then I'm going to kind of the secondary. But I say when the ball snapped, I'm definitely watching the D line, seeing how they're getting in and out of their blocks, and then I'm going to that second level to see where the linebackers are filling, and then kind of once the replays go and things like that, I'll watch the DB play and see how they're playing with their feet and their hands, and how they're staying with their man if they're in man or zone coverage, and kind of just watching from that perspective. But I mean, it's like watching film. Like me and Worm are, playing for 7, 8 years, like in the league, and then 5 in college. Like we're breaking down film while we're watching it, live in color, so we're seeing every defense, every play, every movement, how guys are looking, their demeanor, their, how they're carrying themselves, how they're getting off the pile, if they're running the ball. Like those are all things you notice as like a former player. Like the little things, if they're celebrating with your teammates, getting hype, like those things all matter when it comes to having a really good team.
What do you want to do it now? I don't want to say the football dream's dead, but like what's next? You want to coach? You want to get on TV? What is it you want to do?
Man, right now I'm just focused on, trying to get picked up somewhere. So I just been training and, staying ready for workouts, hopefully go somewhere where I get a chance to compete and, win some football games, because I've been on some bad teams in my days. So it'd be good to get some wins, make the playoffs and all that type of stuff. So, hopefully get on a playoff contention team. Um, it's always tough being a free agent, especially your first year, where this is my first year where I haven't been on a roster and OTAs. So that's kind of tough. And then you go into camp and, also not on the roster. So, it's a different time. So I think that question will be more so be able to answer once I'm officially clear with not
All
playing
right.
more. But for right now, it's definitely all ball. So.
Yeah. I mean,
Both these guys are
that's
still available, NFL teams. Both these guys are still they're both still available, and they're both in great shape. They're ready to go. Just give them a call.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
give me a call, man. Text Harbaugh or something. Get someone get me somewhere.
Do you text him like, coach, like I'm
Man, I've
still.
been annoying Harbaugh every day. I'm
Blowing him up.
You actually?
I'm like an ex-girlfriend. I'm texting Jim every day trying to get on his team.
whatever gets you a job, whatever gets the checks coming in. That's the thing with being a free agent, is like you kind of have to pack your bags and go when you get a call. But you
Right.
ask the question about what's next, and it's like, if you're not all in ball, like there's so many guys that are gonna look to come and pass you. So like you got to be 100% focused. You got to be training. You got to be eating right. You got to be ready when the call comes, because if not, they're gonna bring you in. They're gonna be like, he ain't ready. He's not working. He doesn't want it, and that could be your one opportunity or your last opportunity. It's one of those things that's tough. But I know Mo's in the right headspace. I'm in the right headspace, and we still got a lot of ball left to play if the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, like for me, like I was freaking out. I'm texting Worm, I'm like, hey bro, like how's this work? Like what's going on? Like I'm hitting him. I'm like, man, like I gotta get in pads. Like if they just call me, like I'm going straight into it. Like he's like, yeah, man. It's take like a week, it'd be good. I'm like, all right, cool. Like
it's just. I mean, last year when I got called to Baltimore, it was week 3, and like, Baltimore practices hard. Like they're pads on Wednesdays, and that was my first practice was pads. I'm like, oh man, I'm a scout, so it's like these big ass O linemen. They're double teaming. They're trying to get their blocks right for the game. And I'm coming off the streets, essentially. I'm working out, but like there's there's no way to prepare for football shape except for playing football. And
Hey, our boss said it best. You only get better at football by playing football. That's why we
more
have
is more,
4 hour
baby.
practice.
More is more.
No means, just football. That's where you get better at it.
I love it. And you guys are both kind of in the same thing and kind of in the same boat right now. And I was going to ask you that because last year, what'd you say it was? Week 3 last year when Baltimore called and they were like,
Week 3.
"Hey,
Yeah.
hey, we need you." And then, so I mean, how do you mentally even handle that?
I mean, I mean, in my situation, I got, wife and 2 kids at home. So I prepare my wife like, hey, like teams are starting to call, or as soon as, it was I think a Monday, I got a call and I was there Tuesday, practice on Wednesday. So it was like boom, boom, boom. Obviously I was been in Baltimore my first 3 years. So I was familiar with the city and the coaches and the facility. So that was nice. But yeah, you kind of have to pack a bag and get your ass on a plane because you got work to do.
Mo, you ready for that?
I'm always ready, man. I just need a call. I'm just staying present. I think that's the biggest thing is, your mind gets all over the place. And obviously you start freaking out. You're like, am I working out enough? I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Am I doing that right? Am I, getting better? Am I getting my hands right? Am I doing my drills correctly? So, I mean, it's all like little things. But for me, like every year is just an opportunity to get better at football. Like last year, I had my best camp. Started week 1. I hadn't started in like 3 years. So that was, that was just kind of like proof in the pudding. Like, you put in the work and you get ready for a season and you do as much as you can and, just leave it up to the good Lord to take care of you and, keep you away from injuries and things like that. So, for me right now, it's just about getting better. And that's my biggest thing is just, consistently getting better.
This is good. This is good, boys. This is really good stuff. There's a lot of clips that we're going to be able to chop out of this thing, and people on social media are going to love them. There's a lot of good stuff here. Appreciate you,
Yeah.
Mo. That was good.
Thank
Worm,
you,
you got
Mo.
anything else?
No, I appreciate you, brother. Obviously, we'll stay in touch, and we'll have you on again in a couple weeks, hopefully. But I appreciate you hopping on. Appreciate you being our first guest. The man, the myth, the legend, the All-American Mo Hurst, baby.
Big Worm, man. Come on now.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Mo. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, you take care.
All right, y'all too.
All right, Worm. Let's wrap this thing up. We're talking about Central Michigan at home, Saturday noon, Big Ten Network. And then you've got Nebraska the following week, September 20th at Nebraska. That's obviously going to be a challenge. Central Michigan, listen, like Central Michigan is not a team that should worry you out of the MAC. They just aren't. Like this should be a game that Michigan needs to go make a statement in my mind. Go out and win this game by 40 points and don't play around. That to me should be the mindset. Am I wrong there?
Yeah, they need to come out guns blazing. They need to come out, put some of these doubters to rest. Wink needs to have a masterful defensive game for my sake. I need these Twitter bots and these Twitter haters to get off my back a little bit. But I expect them to win. I expect them to win handedly. I'm looking for both sides of the ball to continue to improve and evolve. There were some good things that happened on Saturday night, but not enough. And as the season gets on, the season continues to progress. They're going to have to continue to play better and better ball because where they're trying to go and where us as fans want them to go, they're going to need to play better.
All right. Anything else before we get out of here?
I think that's it.
All right.
Excited for this game. Excited for them to get another W. And tune in next week. Go Blue.
All right. That sounds good. Yeah. Make sure you tune in next week. The Blue by 90 podcast, Stadium in Maine with Big Worm and Strack. We appreciate you. Share this with all your friends on social media so more people will know about it and more people will come join us and have some fun. And we will see you back here once again next week.